there was a proposed trade that got nixed, and talks between the Pacers and the Lakers are dead at the moment. But the package would have been Westbrook and a first-round pick to the Pacers for Myles Turner and Buddy Hield. But the Pacers want a second first-round selection added to a deal. That would be a first-rounder in 2027 and 2029. Currently, they're just offering a 2027 pick.
I think, for the Lakers, that would have been great. For the Pacers, you obviously, your relationship with Myles Turner has been different since you've already been talking about trading him for a while now.
And DeAndre Ayton, max offer sheet.
Thank you. And then that was like the icing on the cake. Like, no, okay, I'm not wanted here even.
I think there is this notion that this trade would have been like a no-brainer for the Lakers. Like, Pelinka, just go out there, give up future first-round picks. Who knows? The world may not be around in 2029. Do that. Add Hield and Turner. But I got to be honest. Like, are the Lakers that much better if they're giving up future assets in 27 and 29 first-round picks that could be, like, awesome picks?
Sure.
When you're landing Hield and part-time Myles Turner. I like Myles Turner when he can play blocking shots, hitting threes. Yeah. But he plays like 47 games a year, and you add him with AD, it's like, cool, they can combine for 82.
Yeah,
like,
combine for 82. I like it.
But my point is, it's not a no-brainer thing for them. Like, sure, they get off of Westbrook, they move on from him.
That's it, though, Deuce. That's where the no-brainer in my opinion. Because I think your counter is totally fair, but I also look at, you got LeBron James right now. And I think a lot of people are doubting LeBron James after last season, finally going, okay, he's, ever since that ankle injury, like, he's getting older, but there's still so many powerful things he can do on the floor. Why not keep trying to make sure there's power around him? Having Westbrook on this squad going into this season is not good for the Los Angeles Lakers, in my opinion.
Yeah, well, I think really because the vibe.
That's it.
Right?
Mostly. Because then what are you going to do?
No,
start him?
So, but here's the thing. As a general manager, and maybe Pelinka's like, look, I may not last that much longer and I could do a deal like that. But if you are thinking, hey, I want to be here for a long time as a general manager of the Lakers, giving up first-round picks, too, in 27 and 29, when you could be in a complete rebuild and you did it for Hield and for Turner, what does that raise your ceiling? There's zero doubt that adding Myles Turner and Buddy Hield to the Lakers would help them be a better team.
Sure.
I push back that, like, okay, they lost Malik Monk, they add Buddy Hield. What's really better there? But getting Myles Turner, if healthy, would help them. But help them into what? To be a 6th seed in the Western Conference? Adding Buddy Hield and Myles Turner does not make the Lakers a championship contender in the Western Conference. Now, maybe there's a situation, Morgan, where all of a sudden that AD stays healthy. Yeah. And that obviously changes everything.
Yeah. I get that. And I just feel like you can't depend on AD's health. Yeah. But here's my other thing to the future and the future picks is that because you are in La La Land, are you banking on being that attractive franchise to so many free agents throughout your years that you can do things like this too? I wouldn't know. I've only been in Sacramento and seen the behind the scenes there in a small market. Definitely can't bank on that. But when you're in Los Angeles, everyone wants to be a Laker, right? Like it does something else for their off-court career as well. They just get more games, nationally televised most likely, even if you're on a shittier team, because you're the Lakers. There's going to be a star on there, one star, even if that's what it's going to be in 2027 and 2029. But I don't know. I don't know if that is the thought process, or if you don't bank on that and you go, no, that's just not smart to do.
I just don't think it's smart. I think it would be smarter for them to try to find a way to get Kyrie than do the Hield Turner for multiple future first round picks. I think that makes more sense. Like adding Kyrie Irving, as talented as he is, and I know as problematic as things can be with him, adding him raises your ceiling as a championship contender more so than adding Hield and Turner, in my opinion. As far as the Westbrook stuff, if he goes to the Pacers, he'll get bought out, apparently. Like, he will not play for the Indiana Pacers
Crazy.
if that deal happened. But I also hope that that is true. That if a team does acquire Westbrook and they're like, hey, we don't want him here, it can't turn into a John Wall Houston situation where the team who acquires Westbrook goes, hey, just sit at home and collect your check. No, buy the guy out and let him go play basketball somewhere. Tim Bontemps of ESPN had an interesting thought on the Hoop Collective podcast where he says, I think you can make a good case that if Westbrook is not in the Lakers at the start of the season, you can make an argument that he will never play in the NBA again. I think if you look around, where is Westbrook going to go that somebody wants him to be around?
Shit. That's...
Shams also had a note about Westbrook. What's next? Well, Utah, New York, and Indiana are among the teams that have discussed the deals with the Lakers involving Westbrook and draft capital. There appears no deal is imminent in those conversations. One, I think the notion that he would be done in the league is ridiculous.
Okay,
and
why do you think that's so ridiculous when we're talking about a guy that also hasn't been able to change his role on any team in the NBA?
Yeah, and I'm not acting, but can people not change? Like, Russell Westbrook's an adult, and you know what happens? Adversity hits, and you know what you do sometimes? You think a little harder.
That's what I'm hoping happens.
More, and you go, okay. Especially if that happened, where he did get traded, they buy him out.
Let it humble you.
Look in the mirror and go, okay, I may have to change my approach a little bit. But what makes Westbrook who he is the edge. That kind of, I got a chip on my shoulder. I'm here to prove people wrong, blah, blah, blah. But you're right. I just think there are definitely teams who would take a chance on him because of what he's able to do. One, if you're like a kind of like team, an average team, it's a guy that people will come to see. He's 20, 10, and 10. Let's get him out there, get a triple-double. Maybe we'd win some more games.
Maybe because of this whole situation, too, just like you're saying, like, even if he doesn't reflect and look in the mirror, it's like he has no choice at a certain point, right? It's not on him. Him and his agent have parted ways. You know, like, there's a lot of different things going on in his life where he might not have the power or the choice to really be like, this is what I want on this team. Because they might be like, that's funny. We're actually taking a chance on you, so you're going to listen to us. And that's how it's going to be over here. What team's going to do that? What coach is going to do that in this league? I don't know.
Go sign a minimum deal with Miami.